little peepees. Today, we are going to play a game. Is it a red flag or is it a green flag? Thank you guys for sending in your topics.
Ooh.
Or, I don't know what to call them.
Items.
Scenarios.
Scenarios.
Let's see what we think. See if you agree. Hello and welcome to Staying Up with Cami and Taryn. I'm Cami.
And I'm Taryn. And every night we get to have a sleepover, but every week we invite you to join us.
Thanks for staying up.
Welcome to Ransom Canyon.
Oh my God.
Guys, we're obsessed with this dumbass show.
We are both very similar in the sense that we will speak in the sound of a show we are watching. If it's a period piece, Ransom Canyon is very
I am never damn
country.
watching a period piece.
Well, I'm just saying, I guess it's only country.
It's only country. And
well,
like Love on the Spectrum, but everyone was doing that. Everyone was like,
yeah, I guess it is just like, it's really just whenever they go, even
Love
like
Island.
See, we do it. We do it with everything. We like embody the show. We method act.
As you guys might remember, I was obsessed with this stupid ass show called Virgin River. Well,
we got a new version.
You have a little coffee foam.
I just felt that little foam.
That was so cute.
Just a little foamy coffee on my lip.
Now there's a new show called Ransom Canyon.
With Lala Garrity.
With Lala Garrity from Friday Night Lights.
It's so good.
We're really playing it up. They don't really talk like this.
No, they don't really at all.
They're
Except
honestly,
for when they're
pretty devoid of accents.
Whenever they go, what's his last name?
Stanton.
Kirkland?
Yes.
Stanton Kirkland. They say his first and last name every time they speak of him. And then Terrence is the wrong name every time.
Scranton,
Pennsylvania.
Anyway, so if you want to watch a dumbass show
Scantron
that truly will make you feel like you're watching a wacky porn that kind of never gets porny enough.
It's very clearly like I think it's a breed of show that's meant to replace like
soap operas,
like Days of Our Lives and stuff like that, because it's very clearly made for women 50 and up that are like in a rut in their relationship, maybe recently divorced, and they just want to like get a little excitement because the main actors are older men, but then there's this like young hot man, and every chance they get, it's giving like The Bachelor when they make them like do like a shower scene and it's so unnecessary, but their shirts off.
Yeah,
it's giving that where you're like, oh, they just were like, you must take your shirt off at least 5 times per episode.
I would just love if anyone works for Netflix or has any connection to the writing room on this show, if you could confirm Cam's in-depth audience analysis.
Because clearly.
Well, I mean, we watched it and we're not like divorced ladies in our 60s.
That's like their target demo. That like,
but
it's
did your
obviously
mom watch
not
it?
curate. She will. I'm sure she loved Virgin River.
Yeah.
It's obviously not curated for married lesbians in their 30s, clearly.
Yeah,
but we're loving
not much
it.
Is.
Not much is, but we're eating that shit up. But there are scenes where I'm like, this is not made for me, and that's okay. And that's why I don't criticize it, because I'm like, this wasn't for me, and I'm happy it exists for the people it's there for.
You know what else I'm obsessed with?
What?
The party on you. That trend.
Yeah. So
if you guys
cute.
haven't seen it, it's the best on TikTok. It's just a Charlie XCX song. They say party on you, and it's always like it's basically about how that song is.
It's everyone interpreting their meaning to it,
but
putting it to shows.
But the meaning that most people feel is the like, this thing didn't work out, and it's like you see that person from across the room vibe.
Yes,
it's like that energy. But the best part about it is it's literally pulling out all of my favorite like sad scenes from movies, and so my whole For You page is me scrolling, and it's either Love on the Spectrum or Party on You or Benediti Bandonici, my little Italian brain.
No, ballerini pucciccini. Whoa, ambulancini.
But I didn't even tell you this. I tried to make like a fan edit and then I stopped. It was my first fan edit.
A fan edit of what? Who?
To the Party on You song.
For what? What edit?
I was gonna
what
make
was your interpretation?
I was gonna make the scene in Friday Night Lights when Lila is like sobbing and she's like pushing Tim, and then he starts pushing himself, and then they sit there and then they kiss.
Cute.
But it's like, I just thought it would have been cute, but I didn't do it.
What stopped you?
Just like technically I wasn't really sure how to get the clip.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was like trying to find it on TikTok. I couldn't find the clip.
If somebody wants to make that edit for Taryn, greatly appreciated.
Yeah, Clippy.
What would yours be?
What's your moment in like a movie or a show where you're like, fuck? Like the Call Me By Your Name one is iconic as well. Him like by the fire, just knowing.
Yeah, I liked that one.
A Gossip Girl moment, perhaps?
No. Because it has to be something that like hits a little bit more. Yeah. Honestly, what I think could be really cute, because I also like, there's so many interpretations of the song, and I don't think it has to necessarily be sad. It can just be like a moment of like seeing someone where you're like, the end of Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh yeah.
When the mom and dad are like coming back before the ice cream.
I also tried to find that to make that clip.
I think that would be really cute when they like see each other at the party before they talk, and they're like, how are you?
Yep.
Because then it's like, it leaves you kind of, you don't 100% know what's going to happen with them, but like clearly they're missing each other. It's like, is it not going to happen?
I've seen a lot of La La Land clips.
I just saw that too, and I loved it.
It's making me want to rewatch La La Land.
Me too.
I like don't remember, but I remember feeling like...
I like any scene where there's like a clear like party happening, because it's the idea of like the party slows down around you and you see this person. But I think the real interpretation would be like the party slows down around you and you're looking for that person and they're not there. Yes. Is what Charlie's said that it means.
Of course.
But I feel like it's way more of an intense like gut punch if you see that person and they're kissing someone else, or they're like not caring about you.
PPs, I'd like you to share your clip with me. Tell me. Well, clip.
You said clip.
It sounded like I said.
Nope. You're not having a stroke. There. Nope. You're good. Oh my God. You know the trend on TikTok every year. Do you really want to know where I was April 29? Yes. The Taylor Swift song?
Yeah. Honey, hit that. Get that bag with that singing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
The fact that you didn't even try and you kind of, do you really want to know?
Do you really want to know?
Do you really Pacchini Campo?
No. Really want to know it. No. Oh, we're blowing out the speakers. Sorry. Got too excited. Anyways,
do you Panucci?
Yes, let's pull back from the mics as we sing our Italian brain rot. Anyways, I went in my camera roll because I love that you can just search a date, and I was like, April 29. I'm just curious. And when is the last time you saw me wear this green workout set?
April 29th,
probably
2024.
Probably, because I looked it up and I was wearing this exact set. I have not worn this set in a while because
maybe it's not a set.
It is. It's a green.
Oh, I thought you meant.
No. It's like a full set.
Damn, my baby's out here singing. She's stripping. What can she do?
For those not watching, I'm wearing a green workout set with a tan top over top. But I know you want to call it white. You're mad that I called it tan. Continue.
No, it's tan. Sure. I was just looking at you thinking, you know what else that top looks like? Looks like a snack.
You're silly.
You look so cute in that shirt. I love when you wear it.
Thank you. You got me this shirt.
I know, but it's not about that. I forgot that I got it for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for liking it.
You look so cute.
And thank you for buying it for me. Yeah. Anyways, though, I never wear this green set because I like don't feel the most confident in it, but it's so comfy and the color is so pretty. So I put it on today randomly before I did my little workout, and then I looked up April 29th last year, and I wore the exact same thing. And it probably is the last time I wore this set.
Did we record? Was it a pod day?
No, I don't think so. Oh. I just have pictures of it on my... But isn't that weird?
That is really weird.
And then, you know how I took that really cute picture of Riggy today that I sent you and she was like cuddling on me? Mm-hmm. I have a very, very similar picture of Riggy cuddling.
You probably have the picture every day.
I'm sure, but I feel like April 29th last year I lived an incredibly similar day.
What were we doing?
I don't know. I was wearing this green set and cuddling with Riggy.
What did we do at night?
I don't know what you were up to. I don't know.
I was probably buying you... No, you had the shirt on. No, you didn't have the shirt on.
This shirt. No, you got me this for like Christmas or something.
Hell, I was probably thinking about getting a job as a rancher on
Babe, you know what's also so weird?
Tell me.
Is April 29th, 2024, I took this picture at Bub's.
Oh my God.
And it looks so similar to the one I took yesterday. Sunday. What's today? Oh my God, today's Tuesday already.
Tuesday.
On Sunday. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. That is weird. I would like to update the PPs that, well, so many things.
There's so many things. Oh, and we went to Loop. R.I.P. Favorite coffee shop ever.
Our favorite coffee shop. Okay. I have multiple things.
Yes.
One.
Hit me.
the other day, peepees, my sweet friend Tyler messaged our Yeah Boys group chat and said, what do you guys think that we just have lunch together over Zoom? And then we did. And it was so fun.
Oh, I didn't know you guys had lunch.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were just having a call. You did a full lunch?
Yeah, we were just all kind of eating and chatting.
That's so cute.
And Sean was at work at his new office and he showed us around on his phone.
How's it look?
It's cute. I mean, it looks like the first Patreon office, like kind of crazy, like a rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. Okay.
No, like a bird's nest is what I meant. Not a rabbit's hole.
I don't know what you mean by any of this, but okay.
Like it looks like crazy and the like exposed wood, but not in like a sophisticated way. Like it looks like madness.
Rugged.
Anyway, so do that. I thought that was so fun of us and I had a great time.
Yeah, you really have to be creative in your adult years of maintaining friendships.
And about that, this weekend.
What happened?
We went to Mal Matilda's.
I was like, what do we do?
We went to Mal Matilda's with Alex and Zoya. Alex and Zoya cooked us the greatest meal of all time. What the fuck?
Oh my God. I'm like so impressed by people who can cook.
Like, same.
I think we are at an age in our life where I can follow instructions.
Yeah.
I like know basic cooking, but I can't cook.
I just don't like think the way they think. Like I was just watching them.
So impressive.
Sheets out of that. Pan over here. Oh, salt. Oh, don't forget. Like,
yeah.
It's like they're playing the video game that we play, the cooking games, but like it's happening in their brain and they're actually making things that taste good. Shocking.
Yeah, like I don't feel confident making food for friends. I'm like, you're going to hate this.
Same.
And I know it.
Same.
Like you and I can sit here and have like dry ass food and be like, we did that. You and I did that.
That's so fair.
But for other people, I'd be like, I feel like I'm giving them a Christmas present and making justifications of why it's the wrong size or color. Or
would you be
okay
honest
they don't
with
want
me?
it. Yeah.
When I make food, sometimes do you not like it, but you won't tell me?
I always like it.
But you don't always love it.
I mean, I think there's times where we're like, okay, we could do this better next time.
But we don't always say it. But I feel like it's unsaid.
Like salmon is often overcooked because you're scared for it to be undercooked. So a lot of times our salmon's quite dry.
Shit, bro.
But we talk about that.
Got me good.
And I'm like, we got to work on that.
That's fair, we do. But anyway, so we went over there. Alex and Zoya cooked. Alex's cookbook came out. Scratch that. Really good. We are going to try some of her recipes.
I'll link it in the description. You can get it on Amazon now, and it comes like the next day. It's very quick.
But we had this great talk at dinner, and I feel like it's worth sharing.
It was really cute.
I'm not going to air people's shit out, but it was so fun. We like each talked about how we all had gotten in a fight that week. They got in larger ones than we did.
Yeah, well, they were like, are people around you breaking up right now? And we were like, actually, yeah.
We were like, yeah, wait, what?
And they were like, there's something in the air this week. We both got in really big fights. And then ours wasn't a big fight, but we like wanted included.
Literally, we were like, well, we kind of fought. I guess we'll ham it up.
Actually, not really this week.
And as the peepees know well, we do be fighting. So it was actually shocked that we didn't have one to share.
I know. I'm like, we should have had something better to share.
Yeah. I go in the bathroom, you stupid bitch. We start fighting. But so we went around and everyone was so honest and like shared their honest the fight and then what they did wrong and what they're upset at their partner about still. Like
it was so refreshing.
It was so fun.
It was just so open. It was like no one was scared that they looked dumb or insecure or dramatic or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
We all just really shared whatever happened. It was so special.
It was insane.
And like, I need to be better at this, but I'm really annoyed that they do this. Am I wrong? Like, it wasn't even like trying to be good or be 100%. Like, oh, I'm so honest. It was like, actually, like, think that that's not fair. What do you guys think? It was so special.
And like, no one really took sides.
No.
Even though that was the joke of the thing is like, we're going to present our fights and everyone can pick who won.
Yeah, we said we were going to like have a jury and vote.
But it was really just like so refreshing to hear people be honest about their flaws. Mm-hmm. And like at the core of every fight is both of your issues individually, really. Like you see what people struggle with when they talk about what kind of fight that they got in.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like we're really close with them, but we don't really talk about the inner workings of fights like that.
Yeah, you could be best friends with somebody and not share that kind of information.
And I was like, damn, I'm feeling like I'm learning. Yeah. But at the end of that fight, at the end that we all fought.
Then we all fought with each other.
At the end of that conversation, we all agreed, this didn't have to do with the fights, but we all agreed that like it's funny how you kind of stop talking to your partner about anything other than what is the biggest thing going on in your life at that time.
Yeah, they were talking about work a lot with each other. We were talking about how we talk about IVF a lot.
Yeah.
You get consumed by like the big life event in that moment.
And it's so crazy because I feel like most couples could probably agree that that's their experience. They go out to dinner and whatever the thing is at the moment.
Work, kids, moving.
Like they go on a vacation and spend the whole time at dinner talking about their kids. And like
you finally get a break from them.
We're like, God, we need to get out of IVF world. Let's go out to dinner. And we're like, IVF is so hard. And like, God, work's been crazy. And then you go and you're like, man, work's been really crazy. It's like you just can't get out of.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a fun skill. We've gotten a lot better at that, but I feel like that would be a fun skill for us to improve on and like share what has helped us get out of that, because
I think
it's clearly like needed.
It's that topic's taking up so much of my brain that thinking of other things that I care to talk about is hard. I think maybe if we went to dinner and you and I had a topic we had been wanting to discuss, like let's say climate change, pulling something random.
Wow.
Santa Claus, whatever.
I'll take the salmon. Why do you think that?
Well, I feel like we do. You and I love a tangent.
We do.
So I'm not saying it has to be like some big, deep thing. It could be like sports, whatever you want to talk about. Like going in with a game plan of like, we are not allowed to talk about IVF in our case until we finish our dinner and we fully exhaust these 3 subjects. Like coming to the table with other things that we want to talk about and prioritizing those.
I like
almost
that.
like completing tasks in the morning, like getting your hardest ones out of the way. It's like do the combos that we want to have, even though like IVF is so heavy on the brain, it's so hard to even think about doing stuff. Keep a little notes app of like, there's constantly things that I hear throughout the day that I'll either be like, want to talk about that on the podcast, or gonna talk to Taryn about that later. But normally by the time we actually get our alone time, I'm like wanting to talk about more logistical stuff. And then that's not dating. Yeah. That's just existing.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
That's being CEO, CEOs.
Yeah, CEOs of life. The other thing I really loved about that dinner and the conversation.
Tell me.
I think like we love watching shows where there's couples working through stuff. I think the more you do.
Felt like you were in it.
What? Oh, kind of. But I think it's the same premise. Doing that in real life, it's really easy to see people's faults, but also give them more leniency and kind of an empathy when you're not in it. Yeah. So I'm listening to these fights and part of me is going like, oh, that's not as big of a deal as you're making it. Or like, oh, I see where your insecurity is causing this and then this misunderstanding. It's so much easier to see from an outsider. But the more you experience that and hear that, I think the more you're able to see your own issues in your relationship as an outsider.
100%.
So it's like, it's so good to get into friendships where you have that community where you're safe enough to share these fights and hard times so that you can like, one, get positive feedback from people who really kind of get you and can relate to your situation. Yeah. But also just hearing other people say that, I think holds up a mirror to your own relationship. That's true. I was seeing myself in all of them. Yeah. For good or bad. I was
Not
like,
me. I was like, these fucking girls are crazy.
I'm perfect.
I'm perfect, crazy. And you're making me, and I love this because I'm feeling more perfect. That's not how I felt at all.
I figured you felt that way.
I literally spent the whole time being like, yeah, me.
It's half the time it's like I almost felt selfish because as I'm listening, I'm being like, oh my God, I get that. Or like, I've worked through that. Like it's so hard not to like deeply, deeply relate and want to just affirm that feeling to them.
Yeah, but the short of it is that the boys always win the fights.
Sure.
Boys.
Losers.
Wait, I wanted to also say that on the talking at dinner thing, one thing that I think makes it so that we always have stuff to talk about is we both love learning. I'm always reading some shit or listening to a podcast or whatever. And you're always on TikTok. And so I feel like we come together and we're like,
did you know?
Presenting all the stuff that we had learned.
And we don't just hear something and go, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. We then go research it for hours and then we're like, well, I heard this and it's actually because of this, this, and this.
I just want to know so much about everything.
It's fun.
It's so fun to know stuff.
I like that both of our hobby is to learn.
Same.
Because even when life gets crazy and we're not doing stuff a lot separate, we're not hanging out with people a lot separate, we both work from home, even in that, having that time where we both learn something, at least one thing a day.
Yeah.
We always bring something to the table to like share with the other person. Where I feel like a lot of couples, if you're working together, you're living together, you're not really getting any time apart. You don't, it's like, yeah, I don't have anything to tell you. I've just, everything I experienced today, so did you.
Yep.
So even an hour scrolling TikTok, listening to a podcast, whatever it is, reading the news.
Yep.
Reading the news. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who does that?
I'm not reading the news.
I'm not reading news. Whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so powerful.
Like today, I started this book this morning last night when you were in the bath. I started a new book.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, like Mysteries of Jesus or something like that.
Yeah, I've been hearing you listen to that. I'm so curious.
Well, okay. Let me actually get the name.
Wait, should we set up a new segment on the podcast? Because you and I are doing this to each other all day of like, did you know, and learning. And I was kind of doing that, bringing my TikToks. But I feel like we should start sharing some, even I don't want us to keep it from sharing with each other. I don't want it to be another thing where like, save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
But we should bring something we learned this week to the peepees and teach them.
Well, Bubby, we had talked about doing this originally when we started the pod because it was like staying up with like the world and the things that we're learned, like staying up with stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think it needs to be like so intense like that.
No, but I just that's like the first half of this podcast is always us sharing shit that we're thinking about.
That's true. It's not just about us. It's
so
like
we'll just
whatever.
be more deliberate with it.
Yeah, we'll make sure we teach you guys too.
Sorry. But the book is called Miracles and Wonder, The Historical Mystery of Jesus.
Yeah. And how did we stumble upon this?
I don't know. It was recommended to me like on my feed, probably because I have bought books like this in the past.
Yeah.
But it's basically like the short of it is just this woman is like answering the questions that most people have about Jesus. And she was a Christian. She's not a Christian anymore, but she's a historian, all this stuff. I've learned so much already. But one of them is that if Joseph wasn't Jesus's dad, the person that was rumored to be Jesus's dad was a Roman soldier named Pantera.
Wait, I thought Jesus didn't have a dad.
Well,
oh no. Oh
no. You are right that like
Joseph
Mary
is like
was with Joseph, but he was born as
like it wasn't Joseph's sperm allegedly.
They didn't have sex, quote unquote.
Right.
So they say.
It was immaculate conception.
Yes.
Okay.
But
I know my shit. I was right.
Yes.
Continue.
But
if it's not Joseph.
So people think, okay, well, she probably just had sex with Joseph and they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, I'm
because it was so bad back then to do it.
Yes. But if it wasn't him, people also think that it was this Roman soldier named Pantera.
Scandalous.
So scandalous. But I'm like, dude, Pantera should be the name of a band.
Yeah, Pantera
should
cool.
be the name of a brand.
Pantera
should be the name of our trivia team.
Pantera,
right?
Well, I need to know more about this person. Are they good or bad?
I don't know.
Pantera is. It could be anything. It sounds luxe.
That's what I'm saying. And there's like some record of Jesus calling himself like Jesus Ben Pantera or something.
Ben?
Yeah, I know. There's like someone else in his life named Ben or something like that.
Oh, I thought you just made that up. Literally Ben.
No, I think it was like Ben.
Jesus Ben Pantera.
He was going through an identity crisis. I also learned that there's reports of people like in his circles and his family members thinking he was like clinically insane. Obviously not clinically, but like that he was insane. And they were like,
how could you not? Yeah. How could you not?
And they're also saying, this is all, the first chapter is all about like, is Jesus Mary's, or how did the virgin birth happen? Whatever.
Yeah.
And they're saying that there's actually so much there. I don't even need to get into it. I'll take notes.
Okay.
And I'll share my learnings in the next episode because I'm really loving it. It's like, she's not trying to disprove stuff. She's just going through what different historians have said about different things. And it just feels really like
just talking about the
fair
options.
Assumption to be making, like different fair assumptions, really. Yeah. Which is cool.
Was she landing on one that she feels is reality?
No.
She's not sharing that. She's just going through like, here are the different theories.
Yeah.
Some people say,
and maybe she
the Virgin
will by
Mary
the end.
was a virgin. Some people say,
but
Joseph.
Her belief
Pantera.
is that like the stories were obvious, like the main gospels were written hundreds of years later, or like 100 to hundreds of years later after Jesus. And so her and other historians believe that a lot of the things that were said were not literal. They were just ways that they were trying to make the story fit. They were like literary tools to make the story fit.
It is just that, a story.
Yes. Like
Got it.
the Old Testament, in the Old Testament, it said that like the Son of Christ or the Messiah or whatever would be born, I think, in Bethlehem. And they weren't in Bethlehem.
So they went to be like, here we are.
But the reason that the Bible says that they went was because they owed taxes there, because they were like, so I don't know, something.
You telling me that.
They like owed taxes. So but that's what the story says, that they traveled there to pay their taxes.
No one would travel that far to pay taxes.
Yeah. Well, she said,
I'm sorry, the IRS has to come to you. I'm not traveling to be like, take my money.
I know. And she was like, there's record of historians.
They evaded taxes and went back?
No, there's record of the fact that people, whatever country that was very strict with their taxes, and you did have to pay taxes if you had that blood in you or whatever, but there was no record of people needing to travel back to that place to pay taxes. Okay, goody two shoes. So she's using that as an example of like,
we're just making the story fit.
Why'd they add that?
Yeah.
Other than just to make the story fit if there's no record of that at all.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's not realistic.
Kind of interesting. There's also other things that said that Jesus reportedly learned magic in Egypt, which would explain maybe some of his miracles and things of that nature.
May. Sleight of hand is quite impressive.
That was cute. Sleight of hand is quite impressive. But they said that because he reportedly had tattoos, which is sick. Jesus having tattoos.
That's really cool.
But the main
getting a tattoo back then, like how? Ouch.
But imagine. Oh, no. The main people who had tattoos back then were magicians.
Very cool.
So anyway,
I, in line with that, saw a TikTok where someone was like, let me just show you these two things to compare. One, it's like Jesus and warlocks and like all these men who have seemingly had powers and they're like revered and amazing. And then when women are the same, it's like
unreal.
Witches, you kill, they're like scary, bad, evil. It's like anytime a woman shows being in tune with that or like tapping into magic, it's like very, very bad and dark magic and horrible. But when men do it, it's like, you're God.
You're David Blaine.
Exactly.
Which like, not him like locked in an ice cube for a week and everyone's like, I'm like,
what's he up to these days?
He's probably literally
in that ice cube still.
In a gumball somewhere. He's in a gumball being like, all I ate for 5 years was a gumball. This is a magic trick.
But I got out. I chewed my way out. One bubble at a time. His jaw's like broken.
Nightmare.
I also have discovered this week that I may have histamine intolerance, which was like blowing my mind, and it blew so many people's minds on the internet because I posted videos of Taryn keeps putting her foot on my chair and turning me around, and I keep pushing back.
Here,
get your little tootsies off.
No. Now I'm trying to stabilize you.
I know, but I don't want stabilized. I want to be able to move.
You just said I was moving you were moving too much.
But because you were moving me. I want to be in control of my swivel chair.
Tell me when you want to move.
Control your swivel chair. Get out of here.
Tell me when you
I feel locked. Please let me go. I feel trapped. It's making me so uncomfortable.
Okay, but my foot is just like weirdly hitting your chair.
I know, but can you just move them? Can you keep your feet to yourself? Anyways,
I'm too big for this.
I just angle that way, my guy.
I want to be towards you. I hate that
oh my god, she's driving crazy.
I'm feeling crazy.
Anyways,
I too want to be in a gumball.
Histamine intolerance.
Yes, just to set the scene. My feet are away from Camden.
For now, you guys keep an eye on those little tootsies. Nice pointing.
Someone's gonna comment on that.
I know. People are the foot fetish people are gonna be like, take the sock off, take it off and point it, give it a sniff.
Okay, enough. How do you know about so much of their inner dialogue? Give it a sniff.
I don't know, but did you know that I have 5 stars on WikiFeet?
Dumb bitch.
I do.
No, you don't.
Look it up,
Cammy. No, you don't.
Honey, Google it right now. While I tell them about my histamine intolerance, Google Cammy Scott WikiFeet. Do it.
Do you swear?
I swear. That's my left hand. Isn't it supposed to be
Are
right?
you on WikiFeet without my knowledge?
Yeah, anyone can be. I don't make money from it. People just put it on. I don't think you can get it off. Anyways, I started to notice certain answers to a lot of ailments I have were like, you need to take antihistamine. And it just kept happening. So a few months ago, I saw online PMDD has been, a solution for PMDD has been linked to using antihistamine right before your period starts. So did you find it?
I'm so freaked out right now.
Do I have 5 stars still?
No.
What do I have?
You've dropped.
Really? What is
You're
it?
4.93. Literally, someone came and gave you a toe down.
Is that what you do?
Wait, honey.
Oh my God. Who gave me a bad rating?
Oh my God. Are there videos? Oh my God. There are videos.
No, there's not.
Yes.
Let me see.
Cammy in the pose at the 420 mark.
You can't. What?
The soles of her feet at 8:44.
Is this WikiFeet?
I'm on WikiFeet. The video of you and Amy, 6:25. People wrote what time the feet are showing.
People are so scary to me.
Honey.
Yeah, I'm just mad that my rating went down though.
How'd you know that?
Above being violated.
Ew, there's another one of you. A picture of you, and someone said she's beautiful and her toes are cute. The heart.
It's true.
Someone goes, who's the other girl? Ew. It's literally you and Amy holding your feet up.
Well, I don't want to tell people this.
Ew,
Whatever.
there's private videos? What the fuck?
What does that mean?
Baby,
do you have to pay? Are people making money?
To be fair,
off my feet?
You have a picture of your legs straight up in the air with your feet.
Yeah.
And someone said, nice and natural.
It was for the shoes. Private. I'm sorry, do you have to subscribe?
Great toes, hot arch.
I don't like that
Jesus
one.
Christ.
Should I start selling
IG Live.
IG Live.
You did an
Why am I
IG Live
showing
and
my
showed your
foot?
damn foot.
I saw there's a picture of like me shooting from above, like an outfit pic.
Yeah.
And somebody zoomed in on me.
Ew, our wedding pictures in it.
No, that's too far.
No, you guys, this is actually hysterical. This whole picture, you can only see one foot.
They're like, that's a sliver of a foot.
Who keeps up with this? Is this a weirdo pee-pee?
No, it's not a pee-pee.
A feet pee?
No, I think it's some random weird incels on the internet go looking for feet.
Oh, God. Now there's pictures of you and your ex. A lot of them are pictures of you and your ex and your guys' feet.
That's disgusting.
Wiggling them around.
Wiggling them.
And one where someone is licking your foot.
I don't recall that.
I see it here in the broad daylight.
Let me see.
It ain't right.
Let me see it. Show me it. I don't remember all that.
Damn.
But it's like, we could be making money instead. That shit's free, and that's really annoying.
Oh my God, there's like old Instagram pictures from like when you used to use crazy edits.
Yeah, that's like what?
That doesn't even look like your foot.
It is.
Anyway,
I recognize that
You
picture.
know what? I love you so much, but looking at your WikiFeet is is a red flag.
How's it a red flag? You're the one looking at it.
No, I'm saying it just looking at your feet a lot is.
Anyways, we're running out of time to talk about my histamine intolerance.
Talk about your histamines.
So I did post it on TikTok and Instagram if you guys like actually care to learn more to see if you maybe have it. But I was just realizing that there was a lot of stuff in common. So I'm looking into it. But I have also heard you should be taking Claritin every day to help it. But that also might not be good during IVF. So I don't really know what to do about it. I'm not really doing anything about it. I did start taking vitamin C and magnesium glycate. What am I taking? What's that? What's a magnesium type?
Glycinate, I think.
Glycinate? I always forget what it's called.
I think it's glycinate.
Okay, I want to get into our game.
Oh yeah.
Unless there's anything else that you.
Is it a like match the girl to her feet?
No, it is. Is it a red or a green flag?
Oh, that's why I made that joke earlier. I forgot. Wait, oh my God, you're wearing green.
I'm a green flag. Cute.
I didn't need your pants to tell you that.
So originally I used ChatGPT and had a really big list, but then I went on our Instagram, the Staying Up Pod Instagram, and PP sent in such good ones. So I think I'm just going to pull from the PP ones.
Go, baby.
Okay.
Can I just clarify really quickly?
Please.
I do not expect to have a hard time with any of these because I think a red flag and a green flag are so different to me.
So what happened was last week, as y'all know, we did not record the podcast, but Taryn was super, super busy. And she was like, I do not have time to do any prep work for the podcast. Like, I don't know what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I'll do it. I'll think of a topic. I figured out this topic and I said it to you and you were like, isn't that going to be obvious? But I think you will all find out that they are not all obvious.
So I'm ready to be shocked, but I just don't think I will be. Okay. That's a challenge.
Number 1, this might be an easy one. We'll start easy. Encourages you to hang with friends solo.
Oh. That's green.
Yeah, green. You did pause quite a long time.
I was just giving it fair thought. I think that's good. I think if they never hung out with my friends with me,
yeah, as long as it's balanced.
Flag. Yeah.
But if they're like, you should get friend time one time, like we don't need to be together all the time. I think it's green. Depends how often, but yeah. They always get sad when you want alone time.
I mean,
red.
Yeah, that's red flag.
See, you're pausing on all of them.
No,
not even easy for
I'm
you
really
yet.
just I don't want to answer them immediately.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that's a red flag.
Yeah, I think it's like the always never. It's the frequency of these that is differentiating between red and green. If like every day they're like, you should go with your friends. You should go with your friends. That could be red.
100%.
And if they're like, oh, bummer, I was like so excited to hang out with you tonight. Every once in a while. But if every time you're going and hanging out or like wanting alone time, they're getting upset with you. Red flag.
Yep.
They don't like people taking care of them when they're sick.
Is that a red or green flag? That just is like a preference.
I don't know. It could mean...
I think that's a red flag. If I had to choose between red or green, I would say red because I feel like sometimes you just need people to take care of you. And when you're sick, you shouldn't push it. And so if you're never letting yourself relax and you're never like actually accepting help,
yeah,
I would think that's going to make not only your quality of life worse, but then it makes me think, how do you take care of other people if that's how you view care for yourself?
Totally agree.
Thanks, honey.
They like conforming to very traditional female roles, style, behavior, career, etc.
Oh, this is tough because we're forcing ourselves to choose red or green.
Yeah, that's why it gets hard.
I definitely wouldn't call it like a clear green flag.
Yeah, it's not like, oh my God, that's amazing. I love that they conform to that.
And I guess it's also personal. I'm thinking of it more broad. Like,
yeah,
is this a green flag in the world?
I think, yeah, I know. I think answer like
for me
personally when it applies, or like for this one, for me, are they conforming it because they love it? Because then I think total green flag. I think you should like feminism to its core to me is doing what you want and having the opportunity to do so.
Right.
If you want to work your ass off and have your partner stay home, if you're having kids, like if that's what you want, great. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom and you're doing that, great. As long as you're like able to live the life you want, that to me is like feminism at a core. So if somebody's like,
say it again,
feminism?
I meant the thing.
Normally when I'm saying stuff and I say it too many times, it starts to sound weird. I thought you were like getting nervous. They like conforming to very traditional female roles, aka style, behavior, career, etc.
Oh.
But I'm like, if you like, I was like, did I say it weird? Is she about to call me out for saying it weird?
I hear you. I think that conforming to traditional roles
is giving forced.
Is giving not even forced, but like not thought out.
Conform is like, I'm just doing it because I'm supposed to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And style? What, is she wearing like a Amish?
Dress? No. Well, maybe traditional female roles.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, is she churning butter? And
I'm going, with the little context I have on this, I'm going to go leaning red.
I'm going pink. No, I'm going red for sure.
Doesn't have their license at 24.
It's like depending on where they're from or like where they live, but
if I have to pick, I'm going red flag.
You
can always get your license.
Yeah.
I don't like I don't know. I have always been very independent. So the day I could get my permit, I had my permit. The day I could get my license, I had my license. And I did live in a place where driving gave freedom. I tapped the wall, so you had to tap the wall. And I get it. If you're in New York, for example. You're like, why the heck would I need that? But I think that's just a good life lesson to have. Same with like swimming. I don't care if you didn't grow up by ocean, lake, swimming pool.
But it'd be good to know how.
It's good to just for your life to know how to do these things, because then
you're
putting burden on other people a lot of times too.
You never know when you're going to need to drive.
Yeah.
Like what if there's an emergency and you're like, shit, I need to do something.
Yeah. Like,
red flag.
Get your license.
Red flag. Yeah.
They're such a peacekeeper. Even when I'm venting, they try to see the other person's side. This is a tough one to me.
I'll tell you, it ain't right. I don't know if it's...
I actually enjoy it sometimes. There's a time and a place. I think because you're having to ask it, it's a red flag because they're not reading you. I have certain friends who are such hype women that even when I know I'm in the wrong, they'll justify me. And I'm like, I want pushback sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, especially in a partner, sometimes I want to just be able to bitch and I don't want lifted up, but I appreciate that you're so level-headed and calm that you can do that.
Right.
But I think you need to also be able to assess what your partner's needing.
I think being a peacekeeper to a fault is a red flag.
Yeah.
Because then you, to me, have no backbone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like and your partner should feel safe to be like, hey, or you should feel good enough to be like, do you need me to just listen right now and hype you up? Or do you want do you want a sounding board, or do you want to work on this together? Kind of
vibe. The extremes are red flags, whether they're good or bad.
Yeah.
Like most extreme things are like, this person's always happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
This person always wants to churn butter.
Extremes go red flag quick.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like, just do it on the weekend.
Well, no, it's a weekday.
Red flag.
No, they're watching the kids.
They have to do it
when
on Sunday.
When do they churn butter?
When do they churn their butter?
When do real women churn butter? That's the question for the crew.
Being a hygiene freak. Green flag.
That's green.
Always green.
That's green.
There's no way it goes red. Unless you're washing your hands so much. I had a friend in high school who did this, that they would like
fingers
crack.
Ripped off.
They would hurt so much. Like,
yeah. I mean, they're a freak.
A freak. I'm saying green all day. Hygiene freak.
A hygiene freak
is giving green.
Is green with like a side eye. Like, be careful.
Like, don't watch yourself. Crazy. You're 2 hand washes away from some dryness. I mean, are they putting lotion on after?
Are they eating hand sanitizer?
Disgusting. But that's
freak
not freak
behavior.
That's like beyond freak.
They're putting Sandy in the butter.
Yeah. They don't want to hang around anyone drinking ever.
What if they're sober and it's like some deep... If it's just a preference and it's not like they need it...
If they're just judgy, red flag. Red. Also, it could be a red flag to your life. If you like to drink and you like to go out with your friends, being with somebody, even if their reasoning is 100% fair, if they're fully sober, that might not fit your lifestyle.
For
that's
me,
okay.
Red. They'd never be around my family.
Yeah.
Or most of my friends.
See, that would be hard.
And also me.
You bring like the most wonderful, loving person around, and good on them for not drinking. Yeah. Honestly, I'd like hope that would rub off on me, and I would drink less too. But they can't be around, like, I can't bring you to Thanksgiving dinner if my mom and dad have a drink.
Right.
Then it's like, oh, fuck. That to me, unfortunately, would end up being a red flag.
And to be clear, we are forcing these into red and green flag territories. Yeah. Obviously, this is not an inherent red flag.
No, not at all. I think that's great. They probably see like anyone drinking as red flag.
I'm just double clicking.
Yeah. Sure. Most of these are, do they fit your lifestyle?
Yeah.
But
I have one for you. They're obsessed with churning butter.
Green. Green all day.
Salty butter. Very salty.
Delicious.
Unsalted.
Delicious.
Hand sanitizer butter.
Hand sanitizer butter? Disgusting. Too far.
Poopy butter.
No, definitely not. Okay. Most of their closest friends are old hookups or flings.
So red.
Yeah.
Burning red in the deep.
The problem with this is that it says most of their friends.
Most is crazy.
I think especially in our queer community, I know so many people who their best friend is someone who they went on a Hinge date with.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, we should be friends.
100%.
So it's not like a friend, even two in like the queer world is not crazy.
It's
but
most.
If most of your friends don't love.
Exes too, not just hookups.
Okay, same vein. Dated your ex.
Wait, the person I'm trying to date dated my ex.
Yes.
I don't care.
Me either.
I'm like, okay.
I mean, yeah, who cares? What if they dated your friend? I think that makes it a little harder and more like gotta navigate that.
I mean, this isn't care or not care. Is that a green flag or a red flag? I think it has to be red.
It has to be red.
It's definitely not like, hell yeah, I'm glad you dated my ex.
Yeah. Okay, they hang out with a different friend almost every day. Like they have constant plans. That's a red flag to me. It's too much. It's exhausting. That's what I did in like my early to mid 20s of like every night you're seeing people, you're doing something. That for my life as an introvert and liking to be home and calm and cozy, red flag for me.
I'm saying green here.
Yeah.
I hear you, but I think overall, I'm picturing a more mature version of this where I'm like, maybe you get coffee with a friend in the morning. Mm-hmm. Maybe you go on a walk with a different friend. Maybe you know what I mean? Like
7 days a week.
It's a lot. I mean, we see friends multiple days a week.
Not every single day.
But
not always
then you'd have space
friends that week.
From me.
That's too much space.
No, but like during the workday. I'm saying not hanging out with a friend every night.
Yeah, but it's still
like during the workday, I say, hey, I'm going to go work from the coffee shop with Tyler. Then the next day, I'm going to go on a walk with whoever.
Well, yeah, that's like very specific, but still every day I'd be like, this is too much.
But so much that it's a red flag.
If I have to pick red or green, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I call green because I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
And they're probably a very organized person.
If they're able to handle it. I'd
do it all.
So.
Yeah.
32-year-old dating a 21-year-old. It's giving Chris and JoJo.
Oh my God, yeah.
Red flag.
Red.
That's I'm not saying
gap.
that 10 or 11 years can never be an appropriate age gap, but 21 to 32, I can't. I can't justify
That's
it.
a little like you got to have your 20s, I think. At least get to your mid 20s and realize who you are.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They're running a marathon.
Green, baby. Let them run.
Well, I would have said green, but then this week a news article came out that scientists have discovered that when you run a marathon, your body starts to eat your brain. Eat your brain. So maybe I don't want you running a marathon.
I just don't really get that because I'm like, no, everyone that I know that runs is smart. I don't know dumb people that run.
No, I think it's that the type of person who one wants to run a marathon and who can like mentally get there is typically an intelligent person. But I think it is eating your brain.
Dumber by the end.
There's so many signs. It's not necessarily dumber because it's like what part of your brain? Like maybe their vision's worse. Maybe they're like your brain is not just like only intelligence. There's a lot of things that your brain does that factors in.
That's a good point.
But I just think, that Taryn just wiped something off of the wall. It was the spider I squished last episode.
Oh, fuck.
And you just did that with your bare ass hand. Gross. There's so many studies that like marathons are so hard on your body in a million ways. Like you really should not, it's really not good for you.
But the question is, this person runs a marathon. Is that a green flag or a red flag? That's a green flag. I'm proud of them. And they're someone that cares about their health or trying hard or something.
A marathon is a green flag to me.
That's it.
Marathon runner, multiple, we're going red.
What if their favorite activity was running marathons while churning butter?
Well, then green. No, easy green. Easy green. They only use sporks. I just like this one. I had to put it in. I think they're efficient. I think they're a child, but I think they're efficient.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, it's probably red. But
I'm freaked out.
It's very nostalgic because I used to love the mac and cheese from KFC when I was little, and they gave you a spork to eat it, and I loved that. And I was like, genius.
It's to me giving like so particular.
To me, it's giving survivalist who has a little kit
Ew.
of only, and they like do not bathe. They're so gross.
Ew. And they're like, this is my fork. My spork.
This is all I use. And they're like, I can brush my hair with it.
Ew.
I can clean my butt crack with it. Like
they're butter. Okay, yeah, gross, bad.
Gross. They're a therapist.
Oh.
I think if I was dating someone, this would be leaning more of a red flag. Goes to therapy, green flag. Is a therapist? I don't know.
I think green.
Yeah.
Overall, because I could use their services not as a therapist. Like, they wouldn't be my main.
You just want free therapy?
They wouldn't be my main therapist. Obviously, they can't do that. But like, I would be. You know what? It's not even about that. It's about like, you worked hard for a thing and you do a job that you probably love. If you're a therapist,
so nice.
I think it would, yeah.
I'd be scared of them.
They'd figure you out.
Yeah, they'd know. They have a scheduled weekly phone call with their parents that's on the calendar. Green. That's
the greenest of greens.
We have a friend who has a nightly phone call with
8
their
p.m.
Yeah, same time every single night. And I just think that's so sweet. And like, because she does it so often, it's like, if we're all hanging out, I'd be like, oh, really quick, I'll be right back. And it'll be 2 minutes of like, hey guys, love you. I'm hanging out with Cam and Tara. Like, I gotta go. Yep, good chatting with you. Or I'm sure when she's not busy, like, I'm not watching this happen because that's how it is when she's with us. I'm sure she talks to him for an hour sometimes. Like,
yeah, so green.
So green, so cute. And weekly is smart. I might start doing that.
Yeah.
So if that's a red flag to you, I can't wait to be a red flag.
Love it.
Oh, somebody asked, this is like less red green, but like love bombing. Is it a warning that they're a narcissist or they're just affectionate? And I think that this has gotten really difficult, especially in women loving women relationships, because we are very love bomby in a way, like not meaning to love bomb, but we're very affectionate. We're very like, we love courtship.
Yeah.
A lot of women go like big early on. So I think that can be, and we fall hard and fall quick, like hello U-Haul. So I think it can be really hard to discern when you're a woman dating a woman, what is like, we're really in this and this is like the relationship is exciting, and what is love bombing. And I don't think you can really tell until you see them pull back at all.
I think overall love bombing
is a red flag.
Should be a red flag.
Yes.
Like, I don't think any of my most mature friends are the love bomber. I would recommend they go and love bomb someone. No. So for that reason, I'm out.
I agree. I'm out. And for that reason, I'm out. Okay, that was so fun.
That was great. Thanks, guys.
I love those.
Loving, living, laughing, loving, churning butter.
Wow.
Live, laugh, love, churn.
I'm just making sure there's no more that I like was obsessed with that I want to read, but I like those ones. I like that they were more niche. Like, I feel like we could have done such obvious queer ones of like, they ask you to move in a weekend or whatever, like all of those.
Yeah.
But I liked how niche these were.
Yeah, they're great.
Obviously y'all had these experiences, or you're dating someone and it's like, you know, early in dating when something happens and you're like, is this something that I think is so great and cool? Or am I going to look back on this once we break up and it goes south and be like, I should have seen this sign. It's fucking weird that they ran a marathon.
100%.
You know?
What if they eat KFC once a week?
Red flag.
What if they eat KFC once a month?
Neither here nor there.
It has to be red or green.
You know what? I'm going to shock myself and say green, because I think it's, in my head, I'm like, they're limiting themselves. They clearly love this thing if they're having it once a month, but they know that there's no way it can be good for you. Mm-hmm. So they're like having their one little treat. I think like that probably shows that they have some balance in life.
Cute.
What about you?
I don't know. We don't like eat a ton of fast food. So I'm trying to think like, if every month you were like,
it's my KFC night.
Like, that's so cute, I think.
I think I'd be happy that you're happy.
Same.
And again, you're not eating it every week. So
I'm good with it.
You're fine.
Green.
Good.
Wait the flag.
All right. Let's move on to our little pee-pee story of the week.
Because for some reason, I keep yawning. I think
I'm going to... You kind of always yawn whenever we're recording the podcast. There's something about it. I think it's like the way you have to focus in this moment.
Maybe.
And talk and think about like what you're saying, but also be listening and planning. You're always yawning during the podcast.
Sorry, guys.
If you want to call in a story, call 323-577-8857. You can leave up to a 3-minute voicemail. if you don't feel comfy leaving a voicemail, you can always email us. This week is an email in PP. Email us at stayinguppod@gmail.com. All right, so this week we have a little PP said, "Hey, Cammie and Taryn. Okay, so for a little context, I've been in Catholic schools almost all of my life, and my family are kind of conservative, and we live in a relatively conservative area. I find the experience of being a lesbian extremely isolating, and during group settings, I always feel so left out when the topics of boys or crushes are brought up. I feel like I'm being a girl wrong. I feel so guilty, and I have so much hatred towards myself for not liking men the way I'm supposed to. Aww. I know that being gay is nothing to be ashamed of, and I completely support other lesbians. But when it's myself, I find it hard to find self-acceptance. I have no one to talk to about this, and I literally have been watching The L Word in South of Nowhere, yes, Cammie, I know you love this too, over and over again in my bedroom when my family sleeps. Yeah. Anyways, on a more positive note, I'm moving over to Los Angeles for college and hopeful things get better. I'm just excited about my next chapter and to see what the future holds for me and my queer journey. You guys inspire me so much. Thank you for existing."
Oh, buddy.
I feel like sometimes we don't answer these questions as people who are so out. Like, most days go by and I don't even really like think about my queerness. I wake up next to my wife. I walk down the street with my wife. Like, I just exist, and my entire world is layered in queerness because I'm queer. But then at the same time, it feels like none of it is because it's just life.
You got used to the glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's important sometimes to go back to these moments of people in this tough time, waiting for things to get better, fearful it never will. Mm-hmm. I want to commend you on how courageous it is to own up to that, of saying, like, I feel okay if other people are lesbian, but it feels wrong in myself. I think a lot of people experience that. Like, the internalized homophobia is so intense sometimes that it's like, and we do that with, we are way more lenient on other people sometimes than we are on ourselves. This isn't just about being gay. But yeah, I just think, like, feeling that, like, I get it. I know who I am, but I wish I wasn't like this, is almost like the final boss stage, pre-acceptance.
Yeah. How would you say to get past that, though?
Well, I think you moving away from your conservative roots is going to open a lot of doors. I don't think you always have to move to accept who you are, but you're going to come to school in LA, and being queer is nothing. Like, it is going to be the least interesting thing about you when it feels like the most interesting or most thing that's separating you apart from the people around you right now, where you're going to just feel like it's so normal. Whether you're talking to somebody who likes boys, girls, whoever doesn't like anyone, you're going to feel comfortable talking about yourself because you're going to realize that, like, it doesn't matter. It's all the same.
Yeah.
And the people around you, you're going to find your groove in that.
Yeah.
So I think just keep trucking along in your self-acceptance journey. Consuming queer content can be so great, but I also feel like sometimes those shows, there's so much, like, trauma and heartbreak around queerness.
Yeah.
Like, there's some traumatizing scenes in South of Nowhere of, like, it not being okay that kind of, I look back and I'm like, oh, that made me even more confused, where I think just being around normal people, making friends who are queer, seeing, we have real life trauma, but a lot of it is like this queer joy, like being surrounded by that makes you go, wait, I can actually have this big, beautiful life and not feel like I'm missing out on anything or doing anything wrong inherently by liking a girl.
Yeah. One thing you said that I have been, like, sitting with and trying to figure out how to even react to or respond to is, like, you said sometimes I feel like I am being a girl wrong, like I'm not, I
thought you said something I said. I was
no.
Our PP
our PP said something like that, like, I feel like I'm not being a girl right, and it's like, I think I really have related to that feeling.
Oh, really?
I think back then it was like, girls are girly. Or girls are girly and like girls. I mean, and are, like, have a lot of girlfriends.
Yeah.
or you're a tomboy who are kind of like meh for a while until like you come into your own and you're either
and then
lesbian,
you're like cool, but then you're like the cool girl who's like gets it.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been like pushed those ideas on us.
Right. So I do feel like I felt that for a while where I was like, dang, I just wasn't born a girly girl. So I guess like that leaves me in this weird space, but I don't think that that means that I'm gay. Obviously I was, but like, and that wasn't the precursor, but
yeah,
I just, to be fair, my little peepee, I just don't even know how to react to that. But I'm telling you that I have felt that before. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people feel that. And I think I really hope that you coming to LA and just getting out of like the little kind of echo chamber that you're in.
Yes.
Will show you that there's not like a way to be anything. Yeah. And that there are options at every door and there are a million doors. And so I hate to say like, I promise it gets better and like, just wait, but like start journaling. If you don't start working through whatever it is that, not even working through, you don't have to like do shit other than just knowing how you feel. Mm-hmm. Like start understanding what it is that you even feel. Why is it hard for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why is it hard for you to not feel like a girl? What about that? And why can't you accept your queerness? And if all of your answers end up coming out that it's like, oh, it's just when I'm around other people, I can't imagine myself being queer. Maybe it's the people and not you. It's like,
track it to find the root of it.
Yeah. And I just wonder if kind of, not saying you're not doing this, but like if while you're making such a big transfer, fucking IVF. Once you're doing your embryo transfer, no, but once you're making such a big transition, it's like, stay with yourself in it because everything is going to change and see what changes in your mindset and how you see the world and how you see your queerness. And I
know when you feel good in that.
Right. Yeah. And I think you'll find it.
I really do. I also, the idea of like feeling like you're not being a girl, right? In terms of because you don't like boys makes it feel like our value as a girl is wrapped up in what we can do for men, which I reject so inherently.
Preach, brother.
But you know what I mean? Where it's like, if I don't, our world tells us a lot of times that that's what women exist for. And I think breaking that down feels uncomfortable at first because we're going against everything society has told us. But you're going to get to a place once you're doing stuff because it feels good to you and you know you're a good person and you're doing what feels right, that is like so liberating to be like, oh, I don't exist for other people. I don't care who they are. I exist for myself. And I want to be a good friend, partner, daughter, cousin, sister, whoever. But I can only do that by wholeheartedly being myself, not creating some idea of like what my family expects me to be, my friends expect, society expects. And it's just very weird that I think a lot of lesbians, and I'm sure even bisexuals, feel this of like, if I don't provide some, like, if I'm not desirable by men or if I'm not like providing that in society, what is my value? And when you like get down to that and realize that that's the root of making you feel this way, it's like, holy fuck, why would I care about that?
Totally.
But deep down you kind of do because that's what you've seen your entire life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot. It's exhausting. You're dismantling a lot of stuff that you're used to. It's so much easier to just truck along in life and do what is expected or what you see.
Yeah.
So as soon as your brain is like, alarm bells go off and you're like, I don't want that. And it could be as small of like, I don't want to live in my small hometown. I want to move. Like as soon as you go against that, it feels uncomfortable. But I just encourage you to keep pushing through that. And like Taryn said, journal so you can kind of find a pattern and like, oh, I had a lot of joy in this. I really like felt good about myself in this moment and keep chasing those things.
Stoked for you, brother. You're going to be great. Welcome to LA when you make your way out here. It's a great place. Find your people, find the little restaurants and the little streets you like and all the things and it can be
you.
And find you.
And find you.
That was cute. I wonder where you're going to school.
Oh,
Do we have a Trojan, a Bruin?
I'm really excited for you because I anyone who's made it to the other side of where you are looks back on where you are now fondly and with so much care for that version of yourself. Like, oh my God, I love that little Cammy so much, the scared one. And I'm so like proud of her for continuing. So,
and the same way that you don't see your queerness sometimes because you're just so in it, it's the same for you. You don't see how you could see your queerness comfortably. Like, you're in another reality that is just on the other side. And we were too. And it switches and you're like, wait a second, I will never remember those days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. See you on this other side, little peepee.
See you on the other side. Unless you live on the west side, we'll never see you again.
Yeah, not that side.
Goes from the east of LA to the west and back.
Most important thing to learn.
Most important thing to learn, LA is split in half. And really way more.
But. Yeah, lots of which ways, and no one likes to travel far.
Love you, peepees.
Love you, peepees. We'll see you next week. Bye.